Uhuru. I know y'all in there, a couple people didn't say the word Uhuru tonight. But the word Uhuru is Swahili. It means freedom. And when we greet each other, we always say freedom. Because that's what on our mind every day, 24/7, 365. We take it with freedom, how we can free African people. But my name is Alex Morley. I'm a member of the African People's Socialist Party, Bahamas. And I am also a member of the Africans United Coalition. I believe that the Africans United Coalition is a very important organization right here in the Bahamas. Because it's an organization that is comprised of many different people, some different ideological perspectives. We got the Nyabingi, we got the Organization of African Unity, we got the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, we got the African People's Socialist Party, many different organizations. But I think what combines these organizations is our belief that African people must be a self-determining people. A belief that African people, that we gotta control our own destiny. I think that's the main thing with keeping all of us together. But I want to first say thank you to all the people who behind putting on this event today. And today, what we are commemorating is the International Day of Action against the wars on Africa and African people. But there are a lot of brothers and sisters who put in a lot of work to put this on, you know, and I just want to say a special thanks to them. Brother Mike, who deals with logistics, he's right here from this community, man. Chad Auction, talented brother, a singer, an artist. He was the man who was head of our newsletter committee. For persons, you could always pick up a newsletter before you leave tonight so you could find out a little bit more about the coalition. But there are many other, Brother Tario in the back, Brother Ira, who's dealing with the TV and the camera. There are many other persons behind the scene, many women, Charo Walker, Sister Amunet, who's dealing with the refreshments. Many people behind the scenes who made this day possible. So I just want to say thank you to them. But brothers and sisters, the International Day of Action against the wars on Africa and African people is a day that we come together and we talk about what's going on with us. These wars that happening to us. I know y'all saying, this man saying wars. Yeah, but I saying wars. That's exactly what I said. Right now, as we speak, brothers and sisters, there are wars. African people are suffering all over the globe. In South Africa, in Zimbabwe, in Jamaica, in Haiti, African people are at the bottom of the system. Right now in the Congo, brothers and sisters, right now in the Congo is a country in Africa, at least a country that the Europeans would have carved out of Africa. This country is one of the biggest suppliers of copper in the world. One of the biggest suppliers of copper in the world. And all kind of other metals. But there are millions of people in the Congo who are starving. There are millions of people in the Congo, Africans, who are in the last, I think, 10 years, over 5 billion Africans have died because of a war, because of this war in the Congo. And you know who is behind these wars, brothers and sisters? European companies, white companies stretched across the world in Europe, who own land masses in the Congo. They own mine fields, they own gold fields, gold mining this, and they own this. And they got these companies in the Congo fighting each other. So the companies is the government in the Congo. And a war going on, and nobody talking about it. 5 million Africans dying, you know, dying right now. Thousands of Africans right now dying in the Congo. Men, women, children, and nobody talking about it. That's copper. That's on that side. A couple of weeks ago, they tell the brothers right here in this country that's illegal for them to pick up some scrap metal. It's illegal for them to pick up some copper. Illegal, you know, brothers and sisters. But on the other end of the spectrum, where this thing is digging up out of the ground, Africans suffering. And on this end of the spectrum, when these things, when the copper get turned into cars and refrigerators and all these things that copper is going to, when they reach over here, we can't even pick it up off the ground. But that's a war. That's a war going on in the Congo. But we ain't only got wars going on in Africa internationally. We got wars going on right here in the Bahamas. Right here in the Bahamas. Our communities, brothers and sisters, our communities, man. They ain't even allowing us to live in these places, man. To live properly, to live a decent life. We don't make nothing around here. We don't make nothing. We don't even make toothpicks. Huh? We don't even make the beds, the sheets what is beyond the beds. Huh? The Africans who would have built this country ain't got nothing. We cramped up in these communities, living in all kind of shack-up houses. Just the other day, last week, brothers and sisters, we was walking around Yellow Eldahan and no flyers. So we could tell people about this event tonight. Ask the people in the coalition. All we seeing is foreclosed homes. Foreclosed homes. That's families moving out. Nobody's saying nothing, you know. Houses, I mean, the windows them closed. Nobody even there. That's families get kicked out. That's dreams get squashed. That's children. That's parents. That's African people. Come to find out this same thing happening in the States. I just come back from St. Petersburg, Florida. St. Petersburg, you know, when we go to Miami, we just go to the parks where you shop. I been in the ghetto. St. Petersburg, Florida, a black working class community. The same thing happening over there. When you walk through the streets, all you see is foreclosed homes. And who's gaining profit, brothers and sisters? Who's gaining profit? These predatory institutions, these banks, these mortgage companies. And when you scratch the history of them, they based on slavery. When you scratch the history of them, they based on our stolen labor and our stolen resources. But brothers and sisters, we suffering in Yellow Elder. Africans suffering in Yellow Elder and Africans suffering the same way in St. Petersburg. And I ain't even want to talk about the criminalization of our youths, brothers and sisters. There's a war going on in this country against young people, man. For sure. Straight across the board. There's a war going on in this country against young people. A couple of months back, the minister said they're going to go spend $6 million something on the police force. Huh? They're going to use this money so they can invest in buying these electronic ankle bracelets, my lords. They got our youths in these communities wearing these things like the new Jordans. This what they're using the money for. At a time where our youths need computers, they need opportunities. That's what this system is into, my lords. There's a war. There's a war against African youths. But the same thing, it ain't only happening in Nassau, Bahamas, and straight across the Bahamas. The same kind of thing happening in the U.S. right now. The Africans in the U.S., they're going through this. They call it the prison industrial complex. They only like 12–14% of the population. And more than 50% of the people in jail is Africans. If you black over there and you appear before the court, you go into jail. So that same criminalization process that happening over there and it happening over here. And the brother then talk about it, this police brutality. You know, in my regular day life, as an attorney, I can't tell you the amount of countless stories, man. Countless. From electric shocks to beating with bats to phone book to how they jump up on your chest to countless stories of police brutality. But this ain't just start, brothers and sisters. These things happen a long time, man. Deep rooted in slavery. But nobody standing up, nobody saying nothing. And that's a problem. Ain't enough of us crying, man. We crying over all kind of foolishness on TV, but ain't enough of us crying. Brothers and sisters, there's also a war going on in regards to the terrorization of our communities. These government agencies come into our communities and they tell the Africans in the communities, tell certain Africans, you are illegal. What you doing here? You don't got no papers for being here. Now these were the Africans who would have been forced across the Atlantic Ocean and brought to the side of the world and enslaved. And our government agencies are running around and classifying us. Brothers and sisters, the only difference between you and a Jamaican or Trinidadian or Nigerian or any one of these other European so-called artificial names is the fact that you was dropped off in Trinidad, you was dropped off in Jamaica, you was dropped off on Barbados. That's it. In no other difference. We is one African people, man. But straight across the board, no matter where we is, we suffering. The truth is, brothers and sisters, we wanted to bring you all here tonight so we could talk about these wars, man. And we got to define what is a war. It ain't only them who could say what is a war. We could say what is a war too. The things that I've been talking about, these economic warfare on our communities. These wars against our youth, the criminalization of our youth, that's a war going on. The war in the Congo, that's an actual war going on. African people, millions dying. The war in Somalia, that's African people, that's a war going on. But nobody talking. Nobody talking with these wars. Another thing we wanted to do, brothers and sisters, we wanted to talk about wars, but we also wanted to challenge the people who say they believe in peace. We wanted to challenge the people who say they want to stop the violence in our communities. That's what they say they want to do. We wanted to challenge the people who was hold the marches for the death penalty. These people seem so concerned about crime, so concerned about peace, so concerned about stopping the violence in our communities. We want to challenge them, brothers and sisters. Because we say if you believe in peace, if you believe in stopping the violence in our communities, then you got to believe in overturning these conditions that are imposed on us. You got to believe in that. You got to believe to fight against the criminalization of our youths. You got to believe in fighting against this economic underdevelopment of our communities. You got to believe in fighting against these things. But brothers and sisters, the truth is that the people who say they want peace in our communities and the people who say they want to stop the violence, they lying. That's just the truth. But we got to come to our own conclusion on these things, you know. We got to come to our own conclusion. But I wanted to say also that the Africans United Coalition is an important organization, because we live in the norm is that black people can't get together. We can't organize. We can't do nothing. We got the black club syndrome. That's the norm, right? But brothers and sisters, we are one Africa and one nation. We are 1 billion people strong. 1 billion people strong. The brother mentioned the fact that it's Marcus Garvey's birthday. That's what Marcus Garvey understood. Even though we are dispersed throughout this world, we are 1 billion people strong. The problem is, brothers and sisters, we are fragmented. The system has fragmented us. It has turned us against each other. But imagine when we stand up. Imagine when we validate, we say it is right for people to resist. Like if the people in the Congo resisting now, imagine if we stand up with them and say victory to the people in the Congo. To the people who fighting right now in Haiti against this system. Imagine if we was to stand up with them and say it's okay for the people in Haiti to resist. Imagine if we was to stand up and say the people in Jamaica who suffering right now, they are brothers. Touch one, touch all. Imagine if we was to stand up and say that. Check out the mother country. The mother country. I ain't talking about Africa, I'm talking about the second mother country. England. Right now in England they rioting. The blacks tearing the streets right up. Because what happened? These cops, these bobbies, and these demand them in England, the police supposedly don't even have gun. Walk into a youth place, house, and shoot this youth. Supposed to be arresting the youth, shoot the youth. The black people in England rise up. The riot started in North London and still continuing today. But what you want me to say, brothers and sisters? I understand that black people are oppressed over there just like how they are oppressed over here. And just as how I believe that it's right for us to resist, I believe it's right for them to resist. You all believe it's right for them to resist? It's right for us to resist? Let me tell you it, man, it's right for us to resist? It's right for us to resist? It's right for us to resist? Oh yeah. But that's how it needs to be. When they touch one of us, no matter where he is in this world, they touch all. They touch one in Ethiopia, they touch all. They touch one in the Congo, they touch all. But that's what we're working for, brothers and sisters. That's what we're building. Our next event that we're having is on October 12th. I think it's on the 14th. National Heroes Day. The Africans United Coalition, we have decided to get together and we rejecting this white power holiday what is called Discovery Day. We ain't even into that. We ain't even into that. Columbus, these man them come here 1492 and kill the people. 1492 by 50 and 30, 50 and 40, wiped out. We talking about 40 years. Wiped out. This is like 30, 40,000 people. Lucayos. That's what the original people of these islands had called. Lucayos. The Europeans wiped them out. Then they bring Africans here. Kidnap Africans and bring them here for work for them. So we could build up all of this. But brothers and sisters, you know, we wanted to have this panel discussion tonight to talk about wars with happening to African people. And wars happening all over Africa, man. Wherever African people are, we suffering. We suffering. Police brutality. Underdevelopment of our communities. They thieving our resources. The government agencies got guns to our head. The police beating us. Wherever we is. And we want to challenge those people who say they believe in peace, man. If you believe in peace, what you could do? What you could do? Brothers and sisters, I've come to an end. But I believe that we should stand up with the people who are resisting right now. Because it's okay to resist. We got to leave here tonight understanding that, man. If we don't leave here with nothing, we got to leave here with that understanding it's our right to resist. People who are oppressed must resist. Thank you.